What's cooking, good lookins? It's another episode of Reasons Why I Drink. Episode 19. Episode 2 of Season 2, if you wanted to be real specific. Intro song, Pin the Grenade, off the new Blink-182 album, 9. I'm still jamming out to that shit. It's been a week later. Fucking amazing album. But like I said, I'm biased. I love Blink. I hope everyone's having a great evening. Let's just hop right into it. So, I got a bitch for like 2 minutes. My favorite NFL team, the Washington Redskins. They're just a fucking joke right now. Just got their asses kicked on Monday night. Generally, they suck in prime time, at least for the last fucking 15 years I've been watching them, especially Monday Night Football. They've lost their last 8 in a row, and I think for the last, I think they're 2-19 over the last so many seasons. Don't quote me on it, but terribly, terribly bad on Monday Night Football. And just got their ass kicked by the Bears. And the Bears, great defense, which no issue with that, but their offense is fucking ass. So you let Mitch Trubisky throw for 3 fucking touchdowns in the first half. And then, so they got the Giants this week. They're playing against Daniel Jones. And, I was pretty excited. I was like, oh, thank God Dwayne Haskins is about to start. And honestly, I don't even think they're about to fucking start my dude. So it's just like, Jesus Christ. I'm really worried we're going to be in that 2 to 3 win division. You have a bad year and you win 5, 6, 7 games. Okay, it's you didn't have a winning record, but you weren't shit. But one of those years when you win 1 to 3 games, 4 games, just shitty. And the way we're playing, I'm not feeling it. Terry McLaurin, though, is one of the few bright spots of the team. Rookie receiver, set an NFL record. He's the first rookie ever to have 5 catches in his first 5 games and score a touchdown. So that's pretty fucking cool. God damn it, Brittany. Sorry, she was fucking scratching up against one of my fucking things. So, tonight's episode is all about drinking and driving and how bad it is. You can say I still drink and drive, but I call it drink and ride. I've upgraded or downgraded. I don't really know how you want to view it, but I ride my bicycle everywhere I go now. If I'm in Lakewood, I don't drive my car. I ride my bike to the bar. It's usually Cork Show, but I've rode my bike other places and it's not a big deal. And obviously I know you can get a fucking DUI on a bike. I don't need a fucking lecture. It's not the first time I've heard it. But you have to be a real jackass to get a DUI on a bicycle. You gotta be swerving around a bunch. You gotta be acting like a fucking fool. So yeah, I'm fine on the bike. But, since I got out to Lakewood, I've stopped drinking and driving. And before, when I lived at my mom and dad's house especially, I had a bad tendency to drink and drive. I didn't really think of the not that I didn't think of the consequences. It wasn't that. It's just, I think the legal limit is fucking bullshit. I'm just gonna come out with that right now. The legal limit is fucking 2 drinks, which is fucking garbage because a seasoned pro like me, I don't feel drunk for at least 6 to 7 drinks before I start to get a buzz. And I'm probably not drunk and legally impaired for my ability, at least until 8 to 9, maybe 10 drinks. That's when I start to fucking feel it. So it's just the legal limit is fucking bullshit. It's a crock of shit in my mind. But like I said, tonight's episode's about anti-drinking and driving. I have 2 stories from when I, drank and drove, and I'm not proud of them by any means. It's just I'm just gonna tell them because they're pretty funny. And both times I was at the Valley, of course, the Valley Rally. I was a Valley rat for a hot minute when I was living at home. So I'm gonna tell the first story first here. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna tell the first story. This was back maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. I went to the Valley with my good buddy Jake, his brother Bryce, and another neighbor Greg. And we were all hanging out, just sipping beers, nothing crazy, doing our thing. We were probably there for 2.5 hours. So then me, Bryce, Jake, and Greg, we left the valley to go over to Bryce's house, Bryce's dude's house. Bryce and Greg were gonna pick up some bud, and then we were all gonna go home. So like honestly, to me, like no big deal. I'm just dropping them off. Quick transaction. We're gonna get home. So we're driving down Cleveland Masson Road, and it's dark as fuck. No lights on the street. I don't really know where I'm going to in terms of pulling in. And Bryce is like, oh, it's right up here on the left. So I go to make the left-hand turn, and I end up fucking pulling in this dude's ditch, and it was a steep ditch. Ended up just fucking, nose up. Couldn't believe it. We had Taco Bell in the car. It flew everywhere. And I just felt like the world's biggest jackass, and I thought for sure I was fucked. We tried putting the car in reverse and pushing it out, and there was no way. The ditch was just too fucking steep. So I immediately called AAA, and, they were like, we'll be there within, 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm thinking, an hour? Like, my car's in a fucking ditch. Like, if any cop drives by, I'm completely fucked. So, we're just playing the waiting game at this point. Bryce and Greg go in and still get their bud and everything's fine. But then as we're waiting, more people show up to get bud. So now it's like there's like fucking 15 people outside this dude's home, and my car is still in a ditch, and I just keep thinking, oh god damn it, I'm fucked. Like, I keep thinking I'm going to jail. This is DUI number 2. I am toasted. And like I said, I didn't feel drunk. Like, I just had some Bud Lights. Like, it was a chill night. But I was over the legal limit. So we're waiting, and somehow, some way, no cars are driving by, let alone cop cars, so we're fucking golden. Eventually AAA shows up with the tow truck, and they fucking get my car out of the ditch without anyone seeing, and I can't fucking believe it. I'm shitting my pants. I'm in the clear. I'm about to get in my car, we're about to go home, and it's fucking beautiful. And as I'm getting ready to get my keys and, drive, the fucking tow truck driver calls me out and goes, oh, you ain't driving, homie. And I go, seriously? I'm fine. And he goes, you crashed the car in a ditch. And I tried to play it off. I said, a deer swerved in front of me, and I just swerved out of it. I didn't want to hit the deer. And he goes, you still ain't driving. And, I was panicked at that point because I was like, fuck, who's going to get my car home? Because this dude's not letting me get behind the wheel. My homeboy Bryce steps up to the plate, drives us back to his mom and dad's house, and we have a good laugh about it. But at the end of the day, it was still, like I said, just fucking, it was scary. I thought I was doomed. I thought I was completely fucked. I was ready for DUI number 2 in my life to go down the tubes. But, we dodged a bullet. We literally fucking dodged the bullet, Matrix style. I was sitting in a fucking ditch for 45 minutes, and no cars drove by. And, I somehow got away with murder, as I like to say. This second story, though, I think is much more comical, at least in terms of my half. Still just as bad, because I was drinking and driving. You shouldn't do it. But this one, I think, is a little bit more funny. So, I'm at the Valley again, doing my normal shit at Johnny J's, drinking martinis, hanging out, doing my thing. And, I ended up closing the bar down, and I got there early, so, at this point, I'm toasted. I know at this point I was drunk. I get behind the wheel, do my thing. I made this drive 100 times at this point. I didn't think anything of it. I'm driving home, I'm having a smoke, and as I'm driving home, I dropped the smoke in my car. And at this point, mind you, I'm less than a mile away, maybe a mile home tops. I dropped the smoke, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I stupidly bend over to pick it up like this, I'm driving, I pick up the smoke, but as I pick it up, I sideswipe a mailbox and hit a trash can. Take off my passenger side mirror, and I run over this mailbox. Or I run over the mailbox and I run over this trash can. And I stop 4 or 5 feet later, I stop and I go, holy fuck. And, immediately park the car, get out. The trash can is lodged under my car. It's stuck under the front bumper really fucking good. And I'm yanking at it. I yanked at it for fucking 30 seconds to a minute. Because I knew I had to make the most of my time. I couldn't be fucking around with that shit for a while. So I'm sitting there doing that, and I look over and their mailbox is just knocked the fuck off. It was one of those like plastic ones, but still took it out of the ground. I see my side view mirror, but don't pay much attention to it because like I'm not worried about it right now. One moment. I'm parched. So, like I said, I'm sitting there at the side of the road. I'm less than a mile away from home. Trash can stuck underneath my car. And my side view mirror is gone. I'm not able to get this trash can from underneath my car. Like, it's lodged under there real good. So you know what? I just said, fuck it. I'm in a panic. I get back in the car and I drive home a mile with this trash can underneath my front bumper. And when I'm driving, it's burning fucking plastic. Like, I see sparks flying up on the road. It's smelling like fucking hell. Like, burning rubber, burning plastic. It fucking reeks in my car. But I just need to get the fuck home. Like, I can't worry about, like, this trash can in my car. So I eventually pull in the driveway, get home safe, and I'm finally able to yank the trash can underneath from out my car. Fucking thank God. And then I'm in a panic. It's like 2:35, 2:45 in the morning. Who knows? It's almost 3 o'clock. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do with this trash can? And I'm living at my mom's house at the time. So I get this trash can out from underneath my car, and I end up just picking it up and dragging it through the backyard. And where we live, there's railroad tracks behind the house by probably like a half, quarter mile behind the house. There's railroad tracks. So I fucking get up the hill, get over the railroad tracks, and I throw this trash can over the other side. And I'm like, disposing a dead corpse. And I'm like, oh, thank God, it's out of here. We're good. And so I wake up in the morning and I have a fucking flat right front tire because obviously I drove home on the trash can, so my tire popped, didn't even realize it. Luckily the rim didn't get fucked up, but still had a flat right tire. So and my rear and my side view mirror was gone. So explaining that to my parents was real fun. Not a good conversation. There wasn't any way to paint that picture like, hey, I was having a smoke and I crashed into a mailbox and ran over a trash can. Yeah, so that was fun. But then like 2.5 weeks later, there was this random fire, and it happened on the hill behind my parents' house. And it was a pretty decent fire. Like, we had to call the fire department and get them out there. So the fire department comes out, puts out the hill fire, no big deal. But like, my dad, being my dad, he's just super curious and kind of weird in his ways. He's around the hill, fucking around. And he's by the railroad tracks. And that son of a bitch found the fucking trash can. So, he comes up to me like a couple hours later and goes, so what do you know about that trash can behind the fucking railroad tracks? And I'm like, son of a bitch. I thought I fucking got away with murder. I thought I disposed of the evidence enough, but no. Dad caught me. So yeah, those are my 2 drinking and driving stories. Not proud of them by any means. So yeah, that's why I stopped drinking and driving. I started riding the bicycle, obviously, because, yes, I know you can still get a fucking DUI on a bicycle, and I've crashed on my bike a few times, don't get me wrong. I've been fucked up a handful of times, and I, sideswiped a curb and flipped over and, got some scrapes and cuts and bruises. I'm not a perfect human being by any means, but I figured I'd rather injure myself on the bicycle than potentially kill someone else in the car. But yeah, that's just, that's reasons why I drink. Like I said, I don't drink and drive anymore. Fuck that noise. That's not cool. I'm gonna end the night on Gucci Gucci, the Lil Wayne remix. One big room full of bad bitches. Love this song. Zach got me hooked on it. But yeah, that's gonna be episode, I believe, 19. Yeah, episode 19 of Reasons Why I Drink. Don't drink and drive, folks. It's not good. Doesn't benefit anyone, and you can kill people. So yeah, let's just enjoy this song for like another 30 seconds and hang out. I hope you enjoyed the episode, folks. Stay beautiful, America. I love you guys. And these hoes trying to lay out. Have a good one, folks.